Yeah.
The Broncos were at Garrett Grayson's workout up at Colorado State. They were watching a quarterback workout. That might be an indication that the Broncos are thinking about taking a quarterback this draft. And it turned into a longer conversation about the future of the quarterback position with the Denver Broncos. Stick with me here. Peyton might not be around after this year. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with Brock Osweiler. He can actually leave as a free agent after this year. We don't know if the Broncos are going to like what they see throughout the year and if he is the quarterback of the future here. So a lot of question marks. I'm going to take it even a step further. Will the Broncos be interested in drafting a quarterback this year, do you think, with all these draft picks they have? Can they waste one on a quarterback? Or number two, might John Elway and his personnel staff be looking at veteran quarterbacks who might be available after this year? Guys like Eli Manning or Phillip Rivers.
Well, I'll address it in a number of ways here. Hey, that's a lot of steps. I just felt like
Yeah, more steps than you have behind you.
He's got more steps than a recovery group here. What is it, 11? Admission. Confess less, please.
Yeah.
They have an issue here where I believe they are going to draft a quarterback. And
Whoa.
there's been a little bit of buzz over the fact that they might like Bryce Petty from Baylor. I don't know. And Garrett Grayson is a guy that they're going to be very familiar with. Gary Kubiak still can get great intel from Colorado State. A lot of teams, but certainly Colorado State where his son played. He's got great connections there, so there'll be intel there. But in my mind, if Mel Kiper Jr. is right that Petty and Grayson go second, early third round, I'm not sure the Broncos can afford to take that player there when they have other needs. I mean, they have got to get a lineman, right tackle and or guard or center, and they've got to get another linebacker to cover for Marshall and Trevathan. If you say you draft a guy later, fifth round, and he becomes your third string guy, he becomes a guy that maybe challenges Brock in camp or, along those lines. Regardless of what happens with Brock this year, if Eli Manning or specifically Phillip Rivers is available, they have to look into that. This is the Broncos we're talking about. They never truly take a step back and say, we're in a transition year, we're going to develop, and then 3 years from now, look us up. That's not the Broncos. That's the team I used to cover, the Rockies. And it's hard to pull off in player development, as they've shown. But if Phillip Rivers is available specifically at 33 years old or 34, I know it would drive fans crazy. He's a villain. But you have to look into that. Eli Manning, I'm not so sure on. He has been trending the wrong way for me. Rivers is just, he's a gamer. And he fits different offenses, and teammates adore him in every way imaginable. So I don't know that the Broncos quarterback of the future is on the roster because I don't know how Gary Kubiak feels about Brock Osweiler. I know Elway wants it to work. He drafted him. But I think we'll have a better feel during training camp. Is Brock truly the future, or is he keeping the seat warm for somebody else? And I know Brock Osweiler from talking to some teammates, he's going to come in with the mindset he's competing for the starting job, even though that's not realistic. He has to come in that way. He has to show that if Peyton were to go down, he's the guy. And in the past, he hasn't really had that opportunity, nor has he shown that.
I think the Eli Manning would be one of the most interesting subjects that we ever addressed here. And Phillip Rivers, when you talk about it, how Phillip Rivers is hated here, how
that would be great.
Could the city deal with another Manning brother? But you'd finally have a Manning brother that's won 2 Super Bowls. So it's interesting. But that's what we do, is we just raise issues. You as a sports writer, us as whatever
the hell we are.
Writer. I think it's interesting what's going to happen with the quarterback situation in the future.